As an entrepreneur, I'm constantly balancing the fine line between promoting my company on multiple social networks versus doing a deeper and better job on only a few of them. This panel will help other entrepreneurs in my shoes help navigate this issue.
So what tips could you give entrepreneurs here about social media to help engage with their branding and their customers?
I think making it keyword friendly, so anything anymore is very searchable, right? So making sure whether it's LinkedIn, something that's very search friendly is Pinterest, and I think Instagram is some of them, YouTube videos, and I think making sure that you're using the right keywords so that you can do a pull strategy. So if somebody's trying to look for that information, it's pretty easy to show up in the top of the search results.
Yeah, I agree. Using content that's searchable is one key to using social media effectively. The second one is what I mentioned earlier, and that is focusing on a few platforms and doing them really well, understanding how those platforms work and how you get the most leverage out of those platforms. I think the third thing is to understand how social media operates within the rest of the marketing that you do. So in the marketing world, there's a thing called marketing mix, and it's all the different marketing that you're doing, all the different kinds of advertising, whether it's broadcast, radio, print, direct mail, or in this case, adding social to that. What role does each of those channels play within your overall marketing mix, and what are you trying to accomplish with each of those? Understanding that very clearly, marrying that with an integrated message that is coordinated across all those channels are keys to using all those channels effectively, and it's key to using social effectively. There's nothing worse than saying a bunch of stuff and everything everywhere else and then having a totally different message on your social channel.
Is there a frequency of posts or updates they should focus on the social media?
There are actually appropriate frequencies for all the different social media channels. I don't know if we have enough time to talk about each of them. Every single one of them has nuances in terms of how you use them. Every single one of them has differences in terms of posting frequency and what is optimum. Every one of them has differences in terms of what the optimum content type is, whether it's an image, video, or copy. And so understanding enough about each of these platforms and how you're going to market, and being deep in a few rather than generalist in many, it's all key to being successful in these social channels.
And I think organizing your social media posts through what we refer to as an editorial calendar, right? And that's something that Simon and I have worked with a lot of organizations on.
Yeah.
And it's really trying to establish over the next 10 days, 30 days, 90 days, what are the types of things we could be saying? Is it about us? Is it about our commitment to the community?
Mm-hmm.
Is it maybe highlighting a developer founder or maybe a testimonial from a client? And how do you mix those things up so they're not redundant? So we think that organizing those and saying, following the best practices. So
Yeah.
making sure that you're not posting at 7 a.m. in the morning on Facebook, right? That's best to post maybe in the late morning, early afternoon. And saying, okay, well maybe I'll post on Monday and then I'll post again on Thursday and maybe I'll wait to hear feedback. But I think organizing it versus ad hoc and just waiting until 9 p.m. saying, wow, I haven't posted to Facebook in 2 months. I gotta throw something up there.
So there's many social media networks out there that you could use. We're saying here that we could focus on one or two main ones that really emphasize what you're trying to achieve as a brand and your company. What kind of tools do you guys use to manage the timing, the posts, the updates? Any platforms you guys like to use on a daily?
Well, I think some of the classic ones were Hootsuite and TweetDeck, and with those, I think TweetDeck is still free and Hootsuite maybe $5 or $10 a month or something like that. But what you can do is you can use URL shorteners, and so it'll do it automatically, so you don't have a big URL. You can also schedule the post in advance. Typically, most of those tools have analytics, so you can see, well, this post was retweeted or liked by 75 people, and this post was liked by 5 people. So that kind of gives you a sense of, okay, well, this type of content seems to be more relevant or sticky, and to continue to kind of test and refine.
There are pros and cons to using those tools. Without question, if you have a limited budget or a limited number of people who can leverage your social channels for you, being able to post and schedule something for a future date is really handy. I think some would argue that it's less engaging to do it that way. And so if your goal is to really get people engaged in your social channel and then to use the viral nature of social media to publicize your company, then not being on that social channel and interacting with people in real time will be a detriment to your business.